It's been a minute since we've gone live. Thank you
Sure.
guys for tuning in. This is Inside the Green Room, presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on X, if you're watching on Danny's account, my account, or if you're watching us tomorrow when we post this whole thing that we're doing live right now on Monday night after an excellent game on Peacock between the Houston Rockets and the Denver Nuggets. In the course of
Sure.
this next 30, 40 minutes or so, we're also going to talk about the NBA Cup championship going down, the potential beef between Wemby and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Do the Knicks actually need Giannis Antetokounmpo after making it to the NBA Cup Finals? What's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers? Cooper Flag became the first 18-year-old to score 40 points in a game. And before we get out of here, Danny's going to give us his top 5 players that he wished he played with in his 15-year career. A lot to get into. Thank you for joining us as people pick up on the live stream. If you have questions, Danny will answer them. Just make sure you put them in the little comments, and we'll make sure to answer those questions before we get out of here. With that being said, Danny, as the kids would say, that was some good bump tonight. That was some real good bump tonight. Jokic, Sengun, Durant, Jamal Murray. Hey, man, I'll take 7 of those in a playoff series any day of the week.
Absolutely, bro. And I think kind of, I wouldn't say across the association, but there wasn't like any blowouts tonight across the association. Like even the Mavericks and Jazz was a heated one. Boston and Detroit, they always got some smoke. So like that was last time they matched up was a cup game, and Cade missed some free throws at the end, which was a close one. I knew Detroit would come back with some smoke. The only one that looks like it's kind of getting away from out of hand is the Grizzlies Clippers, and we know.
Come on now, we already know what the Clippers do. We already know
they've been in a stinker, so expectations very low on that group right now. But yeah, man, across the association, but that Rockets Nuggets game, it was everything you could ask for, bro. And it's I want to say a preview. It would be nice to have that playoff series, but I would say a preview to a playoff matchup that could happen in the second round.
I want to focus in on the Rockets in a little bit. There's some things about Kevin Durant and the end of game offense that I want to discuss with you, but I want to talk about the victors first. Nikola Jokic on the night, he finishes with 39 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. Jamal Murray, don't forget about him. 35 points on as well on 9 of 17 shooting. Danny, that 2-man game is the most lethal thing we've seen in the NBA in the past couple years. And I know we want to celebrate SGA, and I know there's other players to celebrate as well. But when you watch Nikola Jokic with no Christian Brown, with no Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson pretty much left the game in the first quarter, they're still able to run. And Nikola Jokic in himself, let me just say this, is an elite offense. And if you didn't believe that, you could watch it tonight against a very stout Houston Rockets defensive team that has 2 bigs for him, even 3 if they wanted to go to Capella, and they still will not able, like it felt like the Nuggets offense was going to run smoothly regardless of the defensive strategies, whatever Ime Udoka wanted to do, Jokic is going to run things.
He is the system. James Harden, Jokic is the system. Even if Jamal Murray, even though he's playing great right now and having a hell of a year, even when he's had down years or down games in the playoffs, Jokic, you always have a chance. He's always put you in position because he is the system. There's always going to be a way. He's going to find a way to either score the ball or get somebody open to score the ball. And guys like Spencer Jones stepping up, knocking down threes because he draws so much gravitational pull, and guys getting wide open looks. You got Cam Johnson getting some great looks, Tim Hardaway Jr. getting some looks, like plug and play because he is the system and he makes the game easy. And when we do get into that top 5 teammates, you could bet your ass he might be on that list.
For sure. And as I watch Jokic tonight, and again, I marvel every time I watch him, I think the one thing that I'm really starting to appreciate, Danny, is when he starts running the little dribble handoff game, or when he's trying to do some handoffs at the top of the key and he doesn't have a live dribble yet. Let's say he tries to hand it off. Jamal Murray runs around. He doesn't give it to him. Tim Hardaway Jr. runs around him, doesn't give it to him. And he could just go from his side profile at the handoff profile. I got to talk into the microphone. Go from a handoff profile into looking straight at the hoop and just let it go. No
Yeah.
bounce, no jump, no
Big has to back
levitation on
up,
his
give
feet.
space because like let the guard through, and once he gives up space, he's like, "Up, you done messed up now because I can shoot the three ball too." But he doesn't move or change his speed for anybody. He moves at his own speed, at his own pace, his own speed, and the fact that he's able to flip like that, he's also great at picking and choosing when to set screens, and that like he'll throw it to Jamal, and then next they're trying to force Jamal in a down, which we call forcing him to the baseline or left. He's going from a handoff to a pitch to a flip screen, like he's flipping center screen, getting a piece of defenders too. Like he knows how important it is to get at least a brush screen of a defender that makes him ultimately be the guy that's wide open, or the defense kind of collapse on Jamal. And I'm gonna say obviously, but this doesn't work unless Jamal is like he has to be a threat too. Jokic can still get it done, but because Jamal is Jamal, that two-man tandem is damn near unstoppable. And they showed it tonight. But don't get it twisted. There's another two-man tandem on the other side that was really damn good as well.
Oh,
That had some good stuff going.
we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. So let me ask you a question. In the course of your 15-year career, who would you say was your best defensive coach?
I mean, it's no.
You got to name one.
I want to say hands down is Pop. Like he was the best coach and he did most of the defense, but they had other guys come in and plug and play. Like we had James Borrego, we had Ime Udoka, like we had different people come through. But ultimately, it was the end all be all say so of how we're going to do things was Pop. We might have had Chip England chime in, and we had different guys chime in, but it was Pop. And I'll very close second, Frank Vogel, because I told you how much I liked his defensive principles. But during that time, it was because it was more of a pin down league. We had a lot of different things that we could throw off that made it easier for us to guard pin down action, like what Golden State does, with Steph and Clay. Not every team is doing that anymore. So the league has changed quite a bit, but it's definitely Pop. And then a close second is Frank Vogel for sure.
Okay, so what would Greg Popovich tell you guys on how to stop Jokic and the two-man game of the Denver Nuggets? What do you think are the three principles that he would, you're in the locker room, Western Conference Finals is about to start. These are the three principles to stop the two-man game of Jokic and Murray. What would he have said?
I mean, he's not a dummy. He knows you're not stopping it, but to contain it, it's like the first things first, we're going to play without fouling. And they've done that. They've done a tremendous job of that in their past couple games in San Antonio with when they played the Lakers, when they played OKC, of not letting Shea get to the free throw line. So Jokic kills teams because he's getting 12 plus free throws a game. He got 11 of them. He got guys, and even outside the free throws, he's getting guys in foul trouble. Sengun had 5 fouls. Kogie's getting fouls. KD's getting fouled. Like guys are getting in foul trouble guarding him. Jamal Murray too. He's not like a big free throw shooter, but he shot 15 free throws tonight, and some of them were technicals. Like got a little ugly, but for him to shoot 15 free throws is huge. If you take away the free throws for most superstars, it changes a lot of the game for them. Jokic doesn't change a lot because he's still very good. Right. He's going to get buckets. But the first thing, you want to give him nothing easy. So you got to play without fouling. Don't foul him. Second is make them play up the floor, just their whole group, because they're so good. He's so good at passing. You don't want any backdoor layups or anything easy at the rim. So you cannot deny or get up above the guy or try to beat a guy to the spot or beat him over the screen. Make him play up the floor means staying underneath him and making him go more north, not north-south, but north. You know what I'm saying? East and west and north and not south to the rim. So it's like I'm underneath him. There's no back doors. I'm making him play up the floor, and we make him shoot contested twos. I think he would make Jokic try to beat us by himself, and we play, man up one-on-one and not let him pass.
The Ty Lue method.
The Ty Lue thing, mind you, we would have bigs that are good enough to play a decent amount of defense on him to where he's not going to kill you. He might get 30, maybe 40. He's not going to get 50, 60. Timmy in his prime, I think we're okay. Wemby in a pretty good area right now, I'm okay. As long as he doesn't foul, I'm okay with him playing one-on-one against Wemby and trying to bully ball, eliminating his passes. So those will be the three things that I think that most teams, again, Clippers didn't have the wrong approach. I just think they didn't have the talent or the roster to do it. To beat him or beat them is make him beat you by himself one-on-one. Every time he scores 50, they lose, except with the exception of when he played the Clippers.
Right. But it's hard to try and let him go off one-on-one when you don't have the personnel.
Stay home. We practice stay home. Even if you don't have the personnel, it's too like the game is how many threes is he really going to shoot? He's going to shoot a lot of twos. And today's game, we're going to shoot more threes and twos. So we got to make more threes than he makes two. So they can't beat us with him going in the post every time and shooting hook shots. If you don't foul him, let him shoot hook shots, he ends up getting 40, and nobody else gets rhythm and shoots the ball. Their team's going to end up, you keep them under 100, they end up with 90 points.
Mm-hmm.
You have a really good chance of winning that game.
Yeah, for sure. Even still, Jokic is, as he's proven,
finds a way. He still finds a way.
He still finds a way. It's
because they're going to get switches. When they get switches, people naturally going to want to help. You know, like the big is going to want to help. Can't leave the perimeter. They're going to drag themselves to the paint. It's just that's today's NBA, and that's why the two-man game works so well with them. And on the other side too, the two-man game on the other side worked even better, which I saw down the stretch because of the switching defenses we have today.
Yeah, let's get into that. I think Alperen Şengün and KD played very well tonight. The Rockets should have nothing to be ashamed about. Yeah, there were some bad moments for them. I'm sure they'd want to take back some of those technical fouls because it came down to a matter of points towards the end of the game. I can't blame them, right? Because they forced the overtime. But even in the fourth quarter, Danny, I felt like there was a lot of possessions where KD didn't get a lot of shots.
Touch the ball enough. He didn't
touch the ball enough. And then even
early in overtime. You're talking about overtime or fourth quarter? Overtime.
I'm talking about fourth. I think if I remember correctly, at one point through the fourth quarter, with about 2 minutes left, he was only 0 of 2 from the field. And then even if you go back to the last shot that they took with 6 seconds left in the overtime, it wasn't KD who shot the ball. Now I'm not going to be mad Şengün took the shot, but this is as Vince Carter was saying on the broadcast. This is Kevin Durant we're talking about. So it's like they're going through a learning curve right now. They're a very talented team, but these are the things that will come back. It feels like they'll come back to bite you. And I hate to say it because it feels like it's going to be the theme of the Rockets season. This is one of those moments, one of those games you're like, damn, no Fred VanVleet.
Yeah.
Just to steady the ship.
They still should have won. They still could have won. Jokic fouled out. I thought in that overtime, there was a lot of dry possessions early. I feel like they were playing from behind. Most of the game, the first half, they're playing from behind. The second quarter is when Denver went on like a 14-2 run or something like that. And then they cut it to 7 at the half. And then the third quarter, they jumped out early. But fourth quarter, no, overtime anyway, they had like the first 3 or 4 possessions, they didn't score. They had like Amin Thompson shooting a shot, Reed Shepherd shooting a shot. And I don't mind if they're wide open shots, but I feel like they didn't work the offense or try to get to KD or Şengün. I think it was more so Şengün, but KD wasn't involved as much in the flow of that offense as I would have liked if I'm a guy that's trying to win a game or close the game. And I think KD, he's got to be more aggressive and assertive in those situations. But yeah, I too many dry possessions to my not to my liking that didn't involve Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I don't mind the playmaking that KD is doing as well. Like he had 5 assists,
7 assists.
More. Yeah, 7 assists. Yeah, he was definitely creating, but
5 blocks was big money.
He played. I mean, it's not like he didn't play well. He played very well. But it's interesting, Danny. It's like I feel, and when you look at a guy like look at LeBron, right? It almost feels like. Or even Cade Cunningham is doing this now with the Pistons. When you set up your teammates enough, when you make enough, it's almost as if you create an opportunity where now you could be one-on-one. Where it seems like it's vice versa for Kevin Durant, where it's like, regardless of what happens, he's not getting one-on-one looks in these big games that we've seen the Rockets play so far this year. He's not. You know what? It kind of reminds me of the issue that Anthony Edwards has had with the Timberwolves, where it's like it never
because
feels
there's not
like
enough shooting around him. Basically, that's what it comes down to. I mean, again, if you had a Fred VanVleet and some other shooters, like with other guys that can play one-on-one, Cade has got some shit. Like if he keeps the defense honest, Duncan Robinson's out there. Not gonna knock down a 3. Karis LeVert, whoever else they got over there.
Tobias out there
might not hit a 3. Like they got guys that can knock down a Jenkins. That can knock down a 3 ball. And if he's willing, then it keeps the defense honest. Guys that have shooting around him but ain't willing passers. James Harden was always like he'll pass the ball, but you double him and he had to always get shooting around him. Same with Bron. Surround him with shooters because it allows them to play one-on-one. But if you have a guy that shoots it every time and you know that's all he's going to do, it's very easy to guard him. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to throw things at double teams at him, or he's not really good at passing at a double team. For example, like a Joel Embiid. All right, he'll pass out. He's not as willing. He's also not good at it. He's gotten better over time. But when I was there in Philly, it was like, all right, we're going to double him because we're going to make other guys beat us. He's not as good passing at a double team. So, but if he actually started off, Segun to Jokic, and he eventually tried to develop that. It was like he saw when Jokic won, it was like, all right, I want to kind of be the focal point of offense, be able to make plays and quarterback too, not just score. He realized how important that is. But at that point, it's kind of late in the career to change your game into that or try to develop that at that point. But yeah, it made it easier to throw things at him when you know what you're doing or it's predictable, or if you're not as good at something, especially passing out a double team, or if you don't surround yourself with shooters. Joel would be unstoppable if we surround. Like, he had his best years when he surrounded himself with guys that could shoot. JJ, myself, Seth, Tyrese. When he had multiple guys like that shooting with Tobias, it made us very dangerous and hard for teams to guard and double team him because we have so much shooting around him.
I want to reply to a comment here that we got from George D559. If you are, we'll switch over back to talking about the Nuggets. If you are OKC, you seriously don't want to see a healthy Denver Nuggets in April. Thoughts?
I agree. I mean, they're playing well without their guys. Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon are very big pieces of what they do. They're out right now, let alone who else. I don't know who else they might have out.
Well, they lost Peyton Watson tonight.
There you go. But
I don't know how long Peyton Watson will be out, but he hobbled out off the court and into the locker room early in the game.
Aaron Gordon is a damn near, like, he should be an all-star. Like, he's an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Christian Brown is most improved. Like, if he plays this year, I had him as my most improved because he was like that when I see him in preseason. Like, he just keeps adding more to his game. He's just an athlete now. He's knocking down threes, making moves off the bounce. He's one of those guys that can score for you and do multiple, and he knows how to win. He's been winning since the college, even high school level. I think he was one of the very few guys won high school team championship and then NCAA championship and then go right into win in Denver. Like, he won, I think, 3 titles back to back, something crazy like that. So he knows how to win. You have those two guys adding to this group, bro, and you're beating pretty much a healthy Rockets team. Only person missing is Fred VanVleet, and they're at the top in the West right now. It says a lot about your group.
Well, again, as we said, Jokic is the system, and it's a pretty damn hard system to beat. We just pray, we got our fingers crossed that we're going to be able to see a healthy Nuggets team by playoff time. That's all we want to see. So OKC doesn't make it seem like it's inevitable that they win a championship. I want to talk about other things that happened on Monday night, but it's a nice little segue to talk about OKC, Danny, because OKC took on the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Cup semifinals this past weekend. And before we even get into all of it, let me just say I am so happy and I am so pleased that not only do we have what seems to be a rivalry, Danny, but we also have the belief now that OKC winning this whole thing is not inevitable. The San Antonio Spurs put out a playbook. You need multiple ball handlers. The Spurs have that. You need to have somebody who could maybe take advantage of the interior. They have that as well. And you saw that on Saturday night. Multiple ball handlers able to handle the OKC pressure, quality defenders on the perimeter, and you have a difference maker in Wemby. Now, the Nuggets are a little bit different, but I think what their differentiator is Jokic can bring up the ball. And unless you plan on playing Alex Caruso all game long, I don't think even Alex Caruso is not going to press him.
They still have Bruce Brown. They still have Christian Brown. They still have multiple guys that can bring the ball up with Jamal Murray out there. Even Tim Hardaway Jr. and Cam Johnson can figure out a way. Like, they can bring the ball up and start the offense. So, yeah. I mean, what you're saying, it sounds easy, but it also, at the same breath, that's very hard to get. You want a different Wemby in the middle and a bunch of depth. Like, you need a bunch of depth. Everybody knows the formula. Yeah, we need shooting. We need bigs. We need everything. And
you're right.
Yeah, it sounds fucking easy, but no, you got to go out and get it through the drafts and figure. Like, San Antonio, conveniently, Dallas has gotten some good picks. San Antonio's gotten some good picks, and they've panned out. And they also signed a nice free agent that wanted to go there. Like, you got to be able to get to draw some people as well. And then you get an unbelievable talent in Wemby. Jokic is unbelievable talent, and you surround him with free agents that wanted to be there. Tim Hardaway on a minimum trade for a Cam Johnson, and it gets Jonas Valanciunas in a trade, like makes a good front office moves. You need a lot of depth. There's no secret to that. The way to get it is the hardest part. Like, that's the challenging part, is finding it and finding it through the draft and finding it under the cap and youth with kids that are cheap is the toughest part. So yeah, it ain't that hard to figure out. It's just very hard to get it done
It's hard
because it costs a lot of money and it's
hard to execute.
Yeah.
So yes, so I'm happy that the game plan is out there. I'm happy that there are teams that seem like they're equipped to give OKC a chance. If OKC wins, OKC wins. I just don't want it to be a foregone conclusion. And I think I speak for a lot of NBA fans when I say that as well. But what makes it even better, Danny, is that it seems to be some spice. We heard a comment from Victor Wembanyama with his sit-down interview with Taylor Rooks on Amazon Prime, where he said she posed a question about guarding Chet Holmgren, and she said, and Victor basically said, well, we got to worry about the MVP on that team. After the game, after the Spurs won, Victor Wembanyama made a comment about winning basically and playing ethical basketball. Obviously, a lot of people talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the foul baiting that he does. Not mad at him. He's playing the game. He's playing the game and just taking advantage of it. But some people, as we heard during the finals last year, don't like the way that he plays in terms of drawing fouls. And then so today, Danny, as we get ready for the NBA Cup final, Spurs Thunder is still on everybody's mind. And so here was Wemby earlier today when asked about a potential rivalry between the Spurs.
I'm curious as to what you think about this budding rivalry you have with OKC.
I think we're not quite there yet, but it's a good sign that people see that it's possible because it's not like we're the second seed right now. And I don't think anybody right now can claim to have a rivalry with them in the league. They're in their own tier. But in the future, if we can, provided that they stay just as good and we reach that level, of course it'd be great to have a rivalry, because if you're at the top there, you have a rivalry, it means you're in the best positions to win titles. So I'm very interested by it.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
All right, Danny.
He's a very well read. He takes his time. Smart young man. He's obviously beyond his years. He knows how to reply in the right way to certain things. Very well thought out answer. And it's a good one. I mean, he doesn't sound cocky. But when it comes to certain things, he'll let you know, like, I want to be the best player. Like, before it was Giannis and SGA, but now when I'm healthy and on the court, it's me. But he knows, like, it's not a rivalry unless we actually beat them in something. I think we beat them in a cup game. Cool. We're not there yet. It's good that it's healthy. It's great that people see us like that. We have potential, which is a good sign. But we're not there yet. So I said I always like how he answers. I don't know if they have media training or they teach him, tell him what to say, but he's a smart young man. It's like, Chet's great, but we have to worry about the MVP. Like, we don't skip steps. That's just the Spurs organization. They go step by step. We're not anything until this. And they're going to blow smoke up the media and let them big them up themselves and not big themselves up for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the media do all the talking. And they're going to take care of business like the way they see fit.
So I want to focus in on the San Antonio Spurs. I think Victor Wembanyama answered that correctly. I think I'm speaking for all NBA fans when I say we want to see it be a rivalry. That would make my basketball soul very happy. With that being said, I wanted to comment on the Spurs because right now they're still somewhat seen as a team of the future. And we saw there was a media report today, Danny, that the Rockets and the Spurs will not get involved in any Victor Wembanyama talks, at least during the season. And it also leads me to something that I also wanted to talk to you about, because on the other side of the NBA Cup Finals, Danny, is the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks.
Beloved.
And here's the thing, Danny. As I watched the Knicks play beautiful basketball, particularly on the offensive end, as they really found out how they wanted to be in terms of starting Josh Hart, Mitch Robinson comes off the bench and he just terrorizes on the rebounds. You have two great wing defenders in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges Jalen Brunson is an absolute bucket, and he's proved that he can score in the clutch. And you have Karl-Anthony Towns, who's the modern big man, can shoot from three. And this year, he's averaging a career high in free throw attempts per game. I think they're beautifully set up to win the East without Giannis. And I think their performance in the NBA Cup and what you'll probably see Tuesday night will show, listen, this team is this close, particularly because they're in the East. And what does getting Giannis actually do for this team that they can't do already for this season? Now, maybe next season having Giannis makes them a better team because, there's more competition, particularly in the East. But trade I'm saying this as a Knicks fan who admits that Giannis is a top 3 player in the world. What exactly do you accomplish? How many more steps can you take this season if you trade for Giannis? You win one more game in the finals, maybe. The Knicks are going to the NBA finals, Danny. Point blank, period. With or without Giannis. So what are we doing? What would the Knicks really be doing getting Giannis in the finals? I don't think it's worth it. He doesn't advance the team enough. If the Knicks were like, maybe they get knocked out in the semifinals, okay, we're trading for Giannis. But if you're telling me the Knicks are they're already going to the finals, book it. Especially the way the Cavs look.
Is this a prediction? Is this a prediction?
No, this is not a prediction. This is a guarantee. Okay. The Knicks are going to the NBA finals.
Not even Detroit. So Detroit.
No. Detroit doesn't have enough. There still has to be seasoning. There still has to be seasoning for Detroit. If the Knicks are already,
they had a matchup with them last year. So.
It's a different team.
It's a different team.
With a more explosive offense for the Knicks. If the Knicks are already booked, signed and sealed to go to the NBA finals, why would you trade for Giannis? That's how I feel.
If you want to,
am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But only is if you want to win the NBA finals. It's never a bad idea to trade for a Giannis Antetokounmpo and have him on your roster. If you want to beat OKC, but the sad part is, you'd have to trade for Giannis and keep the pieces that you're trading for him to be able to beat OKC. Because once you trade for him, you're losing all the depth that you have, and it changes a lot of the.
And you're not beating OKC.
That works if you can beat. You have to add Giannis some way without getting rid of people. That's the only way it makes your team good enough to beat OKC. But yeah, I'm with you. All Knicks fans want to see what's going to happen this year, and I don't even think it's a guarantee, bro. I think people are sleeping. You're sleeping on the Detroits of the world, the Boston Celtics of the world. Like, there's still very good teams that in a 7-game series, somehow Knicks either, hopefully no injuries happen, run out of gas, or Nick be nicking sometimes. You know what the hell be happening. I don't see anybody in the East that they shouldn't be. Cleveland's just not there at all. Like, I don't even see them in there.
I don't know what they got going on.
Detroit, I like what Detroit's got going on. I like what Boston's doing, bro. Both those two teams are still very solid, and we don't know what Jason Tatum is deciding to do. I hope he stays out because it's probably better for him. But if the Boston's in the 3 seed right now, and they're doing what if he is healthy by February and it says, I'm gonna play the second half of the season and play by March, New York is in trouble.
They're not in. They're not.
New York is in trouble if they have to meet up with Boston again. And you don't think that they don't remember?
Did the Knicks not beat the Celtics last year?
Yeah, that's why they're in trouble. Because you think they forgot that? You think Boston forgot that?
Come on, son. Come on.
More efficient, better. Like, their offense is way more efficient than last year. They're not just shooting a bunch of threes.
I
will
say
a very high-powered offense right now without all the pieces that they're missing. They lost Drew, Porzingis, Horford, and Tatum, and other company. They don't, maybe not, but again, the way that they're playing offense, and we know how bad defensively some of the guys on that New York Knicks team is, you're in trouble, bro. They would have enough if Jason Tatum comes back. Detroit may not have enough, but Boston does have enough if Jason Tatum comes back.
I don't think they would have anybody for. They don't have anybody for Cat.
We don't need anybody for Cat. Cat self-implodes.
Okay. All right. I commend.
The reason why people second guess Cat is because Cat didn't play every game throughout the whole series, and right now he's playing solid, but it's still very up and down depending on his mood and mode. It's very pouty. It's very pouty instances where you're like, "Yo, Cat, we gotta see some more aggression from you."
I'm I'm very happy.
And I'm not
with the way
saying Cat self-exposed. Let me take that away. The team, the Jalen Brunson and the coaching staff that does not involve Cat eliminates Cat because he's not a focal point like that anymore.
The ball pings around a lot more. We did see some very good action with him against the Magic. I'm not worried at all. I will commend Jaylen Brown. I think he's done a great job this year, and I think he's certified himself as a top 20 player in the league with the way he's played with the Celtics this year. I think we have to give a big kudos to Joe Mazzulla. He's not just a coach that was just given this golden roster. He's proven that he can coach his ass off. Salute to the Celtics. They're playing very well. And if Jason Tatum comes back, congratulations to them. You have a fighting chance. Let's not put all the Knicks past sins on the present day team. The Knicks are clearly the best team in the East, and there's no competition. Regardless of Jason Tatum comes back or not, they are going to be the favorite, and rightfully so. The Eastern Conference will go through Madison Square Garden. Point blank period. The Knicks will be in the NBA Finals.
Let's make sure we click this, because if they're not, man, you sound like every year we hear the same shit. Every year.
Danny.
Every year. Same one before Indiana. We could beat Indiana. We beat Boston. We don't make it to the finals.
The Knicks of past seasons are not going to pay for the
just last year.
We shouldn't be paying for the present day, past Knicks sins on this present day team, particularly with how weak the East is, and particularly what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. With that being said, we could talk. You already know I could talk about it for days. Let's get into the NBA Cup real quick, Danny. The Knicks are actually 3-point favorites going against the San Antonio Spurs in this Cup game. And as much as I love the Knicks, I have to say, as a betting man, I'm taking the +3 with the Spurs. Particularly, and I think the big thing here is Wemby going to be...
For a second, we missed the beginning part of what you were saying. I'm definitely with the Spurs. They're taking the Spurs.
I'm not saying the Spurs are going to win, but again, this podcast is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. I will take the 3 points with the Spurs because I do think if Victor Wembanyama is allowed to play his normal minutes, not on a minutes limit, I think he's going to give Cat some trouble. I will say this though, I think a big person in tomorrow's game, my X factor, is Mitchell Robinson. If Mitchell Robinson is grabbing 6-7 offensive rebounds, pushing Wemby out of the paint because he's just big and strong and agile, then I think those extra possessions are what will be the backbreaker for the San Antonio Spurs. I think the Spurs have the personnel to guard the Knicks, but I don't know if they can keep Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, and Karl-Anthony Towns off the boards. And I think that's where the game can be won for the New York Knicks. What are your thoughts? And give me your X factor for tomorrow.
I'm going with the Spurs winning to get the 3 points. They have enough pieces to switch down the line and keep bodies on bodies. They showed it in OKC with Vassell, with Harrison Barnes, with Champagnie, Dylan Harper, Fox, who has led the league in cup game scoring and didn't have a good game the other night. I expect him to have an even better game than the next game in the final cup. And Castle, who's unbelievably defensively as well. Let alone you have the best defensive player possibly in the history of the game behind. Like, he could be the best defensive player in the history of the game if he stays healthy for the next 10 years. He might have 5 or 6 defensive players in a year. So with the guard play and that, defensively, they're solid. And offensively, high power, they score well. They shoot. They start off slow against OKC. They have enough guys to shoot the ball, pretty well from beyond the arc. Stephen Castle stepped this game up. Harrison Barnes shoots it very well. Champagnie, Vassell, Keldon Johnson comes to the bench. They have more depth than the Knicks. And Wemby, let alone not only control the boards and the paint defensively, gives you extra possessions. He can also shoot the 3-ball. So, again, and I didn't mean Cat. Like I said, Cat is a very good talent. I think the biggest issue with Cat this year is he said it from the beginning of the year, I don't know what my role is. He does not like the role that he's playing. He wants to be involved more of a focal point. He is not. And that is going to bother him, especially throughout a series. Let them have one bad game and everybody in New York is on his ass. He might pout, mope, and then, he wouldn't say implode, but he's not going to play his normal game. He's going to be in his own head. This is not a series. This is a one-game elimination, but even still, I got San Antonio, bro. I think they have enough talent, depth, length to guard, defend, and then offensively more depth than New York does.
The Spurs match up very well with the Knicks. I'll give you that. And if Deuce McBride isn't playing, that's going to be somebody that the Knicks are going to miss. They're going to need all the perimeter defenders possible for the tandem of Fox, Vassell,
Castle,
Harper. There's a lot of on the ball.
You forget Keldon Johnson is a very good rebounder. Josh Hart ain't just bodying Keldon Johnson. That's a bully. Mitch Robinson and Josh Hart ain't enough for that. OG better get on that glass. Mikal Bridges better get on that glass. They're gonna need a lot to help with that rebounding position because you got Cornette behind Wemby. Listen, man, they got enough bodies. They got so many bodies, bro.
I think I think the Knicks are gonna have a very hard time tomorrow. But maybe this is my Knicks glasses on, but I do think the one equalizer is Mitchell Robinson, who right now, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, is at 6.5 for rebounds. I think if Mitchell Robinson gets over 6.5 rebounds, the Knicks win. Because most of his damage is going to be on the offensive boards, extra possessions.
For sure,
that is what the Knicks are going to need, without a shadow of a doubt.
Sure, but I think it's more so Josh Hart than him. And if Josh Hart don't play his normal game, which I think they have enough pieces to keep him off the glass and to keep him out of pain, out of that transition, with Castle, Vassell, Johnson, Champagny, and kind of neutralize his rebounding, it changed the whole game for New York. I've been saying that since day one. If New York is not New York without Josh Hart playing Josh Hart, the minutes and the effectiveness of being triple-double Josh Hart. If he's not doing that, y'all in trouble.
The other thing I'm going to be watching for too, and you and I have talked about this, the one thing that killed the Knicks last year in the playoffs and the one thing that they have to worry about in the playoffs, and not as much because there's not as much talent in the East, is the guard to big pick and pop. And if Wemby is running pick and pops with...
Even pick and rolls, bro. You shouldn't be.
If he's running pick and pops with... If Wemby's running it with Fox, or if he's running with Castle and both of them are hitting threes, and you got Brunson in those actions, if you have Brunson and Cat in those
pick and pop stopping actions, the pop or the rolls, what I'm saying, like Wemby's getting lobs that nobody else is catching, and he's getting rebounds. Cat's not stopping the lob or the pop. So if they're putting Brunson and Cat in every action, which I assume that they'll do,
yeah, they will.
Smart. It's going to be a long night for those two, and then offensively, they're going to be a little worn down to where, again, it's just a one-game elimination. So in a series, they definitely be worn down, but they're not going to have the same legs on the offensive end.
I think this is going to be a nice proving ground for Mike Brown as a New York Knicks head coach, because throughout the course of the season, they really haven't seen a team like the Spurs that can expose their biggest weakness. And that's why they lost to the Pacers, because the pick and pop game with Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton, we knew Mike Brown was going to fix the offense. We knew there was going to be more movement. We knew the Knicks were going to be more explosive. They're more explosive. But what Coach Tom Thibodeau couldn't figure out was the two-man game with Cat and Jalen Brunson defensively. Can Mike Brown figure it out, or is there no solution? I'm going to be interested to see how it all plays out. That is for sure.
We all are, my friend. We all are.
Well, one more thing before we get to your top five. Going back to Monday night. Cooper Flag, bro.
He's finding some confidence, man. We started
the season talking about VJ Edgecombe. I know you had Ace Bailey as your rookie of the year. That's not necessarily panning out too well.
He's not playing as much as I thought he would.
Then we've transitioned over to Con Knipple, who's playing very good basketball, still hooping. But now Cooper Flag is starting
Derek
to make
Queen, don't get it twisted, bro.
Oh, forgot about Derek Queen.
He's
very good rookie class.
Making that pick look like is not.
No, stop it, bro. Stop it. It's still a terrible trade. Derek Queen
could be for a good pick.
He has to be a Hall of Famer for that trade to look good, bro.
He can't just be an all-star. He can't be rookie of the year, all-star for that pick. Seriously?
I guess
the team gets might not be anybody that might have pen out the pick that they get.
That's true.
So right now, he's making the pick look pretty good right now. It's looking better than it did if you groom him.
Yes.
And then again, so if he's an all-star, that's a good pick. You made a good pick.
If he's an all-star, okay, and you know what, he might end up being one. He's not, but
he's one of the franchise. Zion's out. He's the next guy.
just because you're a franchise guy doesn't make you an all-star, bro.
No, not necessarily.
You could be a franchise guy and not an all-star.
But you're in the talk. You're in the space of trending in that direction. If they're looking at you to groom you as the franchise foundational piece, him and Jeremiah Fears, you have a very good chance at being a very impactful player in this league for a very long time. And because you can't blame him for being their team is losing right now. They have to be winning for him to get all-star.
Then let me comment on one thing that I'm seeing in the comments real quick. I mean, we'll get to Cooper Flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm aware and I'm very worried about Mitchell Robinson's free throw percentage. When I saw, I forget what game it was recently.
It was probably last game they was fouling him.
When I saw that they played the Celtics recently, when I saw them do the Hacker Robinson,
can't play him, bro. Yeah.
All right, I don't want to talk about it because he's so damn good. But he's got to. Yeah. If they're doing Hacker Robinson, some of his powers get quelled. That is for
shout out to Cooper Flag and Derek Queen.
Yeah, let's get to Cooper Flag. Yeah,
fucking Duke guys.
What are you seeing with Cooper Flag? I mean, tonight he was putting the ball on the ground. What are you seeing from Cooper Flag?
He's playing free, less expectation. They're not winning, so he's just like, yo, he's getting better. Just the confidence changes a ton, man. And he's not shooting a ton of threes. He's shooting more threes, but he's getting to the rack, into his mid range, and he's playing different positions. He's not so much pressure on him playing point guard surrounded by a bunch of all-stars. Like, oh, I got to lead this team. It's like I can play off the ball, I can play on the ball, I can mix it up. We're losing anyway, so I'm just gonna play my game and hoop. And right now, what's the worst that can happen? And that's how he's playing. He's just playing very free. So I didn't watch the game tonight because it just wasn't a game that enticed me. I'll see some of the highlights and look at it again. But he's pretty efficient, man. 13 for 27. I don't know how many free throws he got. He got 20 free throws. God damn. 15
for 20. They put the ball in there. He's not bringing up the ball, but they letting him run things.
It's his show. Sure. Yeah, it's his show. And all it does is build confidence. But 27 shots and 20 free throws, that's like 47 attempts. He's getting like 40 shots up. Good for him. But as I said, they're gonna make him the rookie of the year. Like, he's gonna find a way to get rookie of the year, regardless of how bad they're playing. Like, he's gonna do it all for that group. But again, I like the Derek Queen kid a lot. I liked him before the draft. I was wondering why people were so down. Like, his intel, I guess, on him was like the work ethic was what kind of low was on him, or I don't know if it was IQ, but they were saying there might have been some laziness or something like that. That was the word on the street about him. But he's got a skill. He's got things you just can't teach. He has an ultimate feel for the game. That you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a big man, regardless if I don't know what his work ethic is or how he's smart, he's crafty, and he has an unbelievable feel for the game that you just can't teach. And at 6'10", with a guy that has good touch and good vision, to me, makes up for a very impactful player that could be a cornerstone of the foundational part of your group.
These Jokic's that we have coming out, bro. The Jokic,
too many Jokic
to the Derek Queens. It's I mean, the big man is back because the big man is playing like an all-around guard. It's we are privileged as basketball fans to see the game evolve the way that it has. All right, so we talked about Rockets Nuggets tonight. I let it be known that I don't necessarily think the Knicks need to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. We mentioned Cooper Flag doing his thing, setting a record, first 18-year-old to score 40 points in the game. By the way, shout out to Keontae George, playing very good basketball in his third year. Nobody really talks about the Jazz except for Larry Markkinen. Keontae George is putting the ball in the bucket.
Nah, he's balling
in Utah. Yeah, and Danny, I did watch some of that game because I did have the over
37 ball
total, and
he gets buckets, bro. I seen him live here in LA. He gets to it. He don't mess around. Gets right
and
to
shooting 91% from the free throw line on the season as well. That is to be noted. With that being said, all right, we're about to come to a close. We'll be back on Wednesday. We won't go live because we're going to record Wednesday morning as soon as Danny comes back from Vegas.
I'll be I'll be at the game. I'll be in the building for that Cup game, so I'll be at the game.
Word. There should be. You got a lot of people you got to talk to when you're there, bro.
Yeah,
you got some Spurs fam. You got some Knicks people you probably need to touch everybody, to get in touch with. Yeah, for sure. It should be a fun time. I'll be in chilly ass New York City. With that being said, we are not going to leave the show without doing our top 5 because that's what we do every single episode. This time around, Danny's in charge of his top 5. And I brought up this topic because I watched Dylan Brooks on Sunday night when the Suns were playing the Lakers. And shout out to Dylan Brooks, man. The dude could hoop. And I haven't seen, we remember Lance Stevenson and LeBron's beef.
Somebody get under LeBron's skin like that.
I haven't seen somebody ignite LeBron James
get him out
like
of his character
Dylan
the way he
Brooks.
does.
in LeBron's 20 plus years of playing NBA basketball, nobody has been able to invigorate LeBron like this. It's wild to see.
But on the flip side, Dylan always does some shit that costs him the game, like getting the technicals. You can't put yourself in that position. This year, most years, I think it's more rewarding than it punishes you. But certain things, man, you just can't allow it to happen, bro. And that was just a bad scenario of endings for the Phoenix Suns because he wanted to get in LeBron's face and get in his grill and shit like that. So, but he should be top 5 teammates that I wish I played with, not of all time. So we got to do
top. Yeah, we'll edit it. But this top 5, you played with Dylan Brooks. But this top 5 is Danny Green's top 5 players he wished he played with. You got it.
Yep. I'm gonna start with my honorable mention first at number 6. I'm gonna go Steve Nash at 6, and I'm gonna go backwards. And my order is gonna go from 5 to 1. At number 5. We got Jason Kidd, electric, explosive, one of the best point guards in the game. As you can see where I'm going with this trend here, I'm going with people that I would love to get some shots up with and not just see play, but a combination of both. So Jay Kidd got his team to the finals a couple times. They lost to an unbelievable Lakers team with Shaq and Kobe, and nobody could stop Shaq, the most dominant. But I'm going to go with Jay Kidd. He was a coach of mine, and his mind is just very different. And I've seen how he's thunk things through. And like, what the hell would make you think that? He goes, if you don't got it, just 80's right there, just throw off the backboard. He'll get it. Like, you don't have to shoot it. I'm like, only a wild ass point guard would think to do some shit like him and Rondo. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to play Rondo. Was great. I would love to play with Rondo and like the Boston version, but I'm not gonna say young Rondo. But J Kidd, beautiful mind. So gotta put him up there.
I thought you would have said J Kidd because I feel like one of your best shooting profiles was the pull-up transition 3.
Definitely
J Kidd probably would have J Kidd would have blessed you on that.
Yeah, he would have kicked the head. I mean, Kyle Lowry was great with that too, but he very much, I'm going to say Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons kicked the ball ahead. I got my career high in attempts with Philly and got more transition shots with Philly and with Ben there. So yeah, he's similar in that passing aspect. At number 4.
One more thing on Kidd too. Because I forgot that he was on the staff in LA when you guys won the chip.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one thing that he said or one memory that sticks out to you that helped you put him in that? I know you just mentioned like he said he could just throw it off the hoop.
Yeah, just some of the things that he would mention of how his thought process happened. Like I said, him and Rondo would bring things up, and you'd be like, "What?" Now he's in Dallas. He's coaching Cooper Flag, and they got Frank Vogel and Phil Handy and all the other guys over there from the Lakers staff doing their thing. But just how it said his perspective with the game of how he thought things through and how to get certain passes through. Nobody would think, even Braun would think to do no shit like that. Like only him and maybe 4 or 5 other guys on one hand would think that. I don't even think Jokic or Luka would think that. Like I said, it was Rondo, him, maybe Nash, but I think it's just like a few guys that would think that way to get something to execute or get a pass through to certain people. At number 4, put Magic on there. Just because I want to see what kind of superstar he was during that time. Not only because he could pass his ass off, but he was the first of his kind, 6'8", 6'9" point guard, could handle, could score, play all 5 positions, will bless others. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to recently see one of my old coaches at a kid's birthday party, Byron Scott, and I went to ask him because he's doing a pod. He invited me to do his pod, and I'm going to ask him on the pod, like, hey, did you really think that, when they let me go, he was in the meeting when they waived me the following year after the decision. But I seen him get blessed by Magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he can get blessed and Michael Cooper and all those guys, Danny Green could get, you know what I'm saying? Pause, can get blessed by the likes of, the Magic Man.
I wonder what Byron Scott, if he had like a honesty pill. I mean, I know every NBA player is prideful. I wonder what Byron Scott would say if he
I think
didn't
he's
play
older
with
now.
Magic Johnson.
If he would say like,
if he never played with Magic Johnson, what would Byron Scott have thought his career would have been? I'm so curious. Like,
write that down.
Yeah,
so next time,
yeah,
I'll definitely add it. I'll ask him and write that down. At number 3, this is starting to get tough for you, boy. I'm gonna go with Nikola Jokic at number 3. Obviously, we know what he brings to the table. He is the system. The only reason why he's not higher is because I'm a defensive bias type of guy. And not that he doesn't.
So I'm saying, like, as somebody who was ushering people to the basket with Tim Duncan there and Marcus Gasol protected you,
offensively,
you wouldn't be able. You wouldn't have as much protection like you did in your career.
I would get a lot of open looks, threes. Like we'd win, and I would see him work on that side of it and see how his mind works, just to see, high. Obviously, we know he's high IQ and intelligent, but offensively would be a lot of fun and amazing to play with. And the reason why number 2 is because not only great defensively, but offensively too. He does both. But Victor Wembanyama, you just can't get over his height and his size. Like, it's just not something you get used to. I know he impacts the game and makes it easy for everybody around him, defensively and offensively, to see what he can do. And I see him talking to guys at a young age. I want to be able to. He hasn't gotten there yet, but I'm already predicting I would love to play with him in his prime. And he's already shown me enough to be like, I would love to watch him play. I'd love to see him on TV from the sidelines. Couldn't imagine how it'd be on the floor with the guy, and defensively be able to guard guys with him behind me and then run the floor. And if they double him or he's getting rebounds every time, making me look good. If I miss a shot, he's going to put back dunk or tip out extra possessions. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
He's number 2.
That's I must say, before you get to number 1, that is quite the honor for Wemby. I mean, I understand it. He would, how many defensive teams? Well, you wouldn't be on any defensive teams because they say, it's all Wemby. But like,
I would. We would win enough. We win enough games. We get 2 guys. I'll be on second team. He'd be on first. Like, Steph Castle it'll be him and Steph Castle on these defensive teams. You better believe it. For the next couple of years, he's going to be number 1. They might both be on first team because they're going to be the best defense in the NBA for multiple years to come. Like, you kidding me? It's a lot easier to get those. I mean, I've seen Alex Caruso do it on teams that were losing. Like, he's in Chicago. He was on the first team, I think, all defensive team. So why wouldn't they have 2 guys on San Antonio? Now, the guy at number 1, it was hard for me to put here because it was such a rivalry, and I got so much smoke from this city. And I get a lot of hate because people think I hate on him, and I don't give him enough flowers. But this system, and he's also a system, I think I would thrive in and have a lot of fun, even though I hated the team because they got so good and they kicked their ass sometimes. We kicked their ass early on, but they kicked their ass sometimes. And I got a chance to beat them a few times. But it's Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
Wow! Look at Danny becoming a part of the Golden State Mafia. Look at this.
It's hard, but I have to accept playing in that system. That is a system that any shooter would dream of playing in. You know what I'm saying? Not that saying I would ever be Clay, but if I got the opportunities to shoot like that or play free and come off pin downs, and my career high in attempts was 6. And that was like year 12 or 13.
Wait,
imagine.
No, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Your career high in 3-point attempts was 6?
Yeah, you don't remember in Philly? Like, my career high in attempts, I think it was 6 in Philly.
Really?
We can look it up. I might be mistaken, but I remember us talking about it.
Ain't your career high in
attempts,
high in 3-point attempts in one game is only 6?
No, per game.
Okay. You want to get up like
per
10
game?
I'm about to say what?
My dog. 10 a game. I think it was like 6, bro. Honestly, I can look it up again, but I'm pretty sure it's 6 per game.
I'm gonna look it up now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So playing in that system, I know I'm gonna get at least 8. You know what I'm saying? If I play enough minutes and you get 8, bro, you're just having fun out there. Let alone you get some nights where you have 10, 15. But said again, being a shooter, playing in that system, playing free, having that many threats, and they're winning. They had a formula of guys playing unselfishly, setting pin downs, getting and play like again. The Bay has a really good crowd playing that Oakland arena, like the arena out there. It was pretty dope. Again, hated playing against them. They were a rivalry. We had smoke. We had a healthy competitive nature against each other. But I would like to think that I would have had a lot of fun playing in that system as a shooter and defender. Also, I would have had a chance to also play and get an all defensive team if playing alongside Clay and Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Like I had an opportunity. So yeah, and that's why I got to give Steph his flowers. Everybody thinks I hate. I don't hate on Steph. I think Steph is the greatest shooter of all time, one of the greatest players of all time. He's definitely in the top 10. But recently I had conversations of why he's not top 3 behind Mike and Kobe. Some people are like, oh, he should be ahead of Bron. And I'm like, okay, we're getting a little extreme here. He's very good, and he should think that in his own mind. But outside of his own mind, everybody else looking at the resumes or even looking at the body of work, you could not deny LeBron James because people, it's disrespectful at this point. I get you might have Mike as your GOAT, and you think Kobe's the most skilled, but Bron, there's no lower for LeBron James than number 2. And if you like other players, I don't know if it's Shaq, Kobe, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Magic, because even Magic has a really good resume as well. It's hard to put Steph in the top 3. But yes, he's an unbelievable player, bro. He's changed the game. He's impacted the game. He's made all of his teammates look great. We've seen it from Jordan Poole to Andrew Wiggins to anybody that's been up with Pat McCaw, Moses Moody. Like you can go, there's a list that goes on of a bunch of guys that have played there and have looked great. And I feel like in that system, it would have been a time. It definitely would have been a time.
Yeah, you would have definitely had a lot of moments if you spent some of your prime years in Golden State. You definitely, I don't know if you would have been like a Splash Cousin. You would have been a Splash Cousin.
It might have been a Splash Trio, bro. It might have been a Splash Trio, bro. You just never know. But yeah, I would have been part of the Splash crew. I would tell you that. Absolutely, you better believe it. If I'm getting 8 threes up and I'm shooting 40%, you better believe I'm in the family. I'm Splash something.
yeah.
Just me. Might be Splash half brother, step brother. I'm in the family though.
Splash step brother. Yeah, that's for sure. Maybe that's why they didn't like you, because they were like, "Yo, he would have fit so good over here." That's why the fans
didn't like me because I was with the Spurs. What happened with Clay? So we won. We had rivalries early on playing them, and then what happened with Clay for sure changed that whole scenario. And then from there, Clay had multiple injuries, which he says he doesn't blame me for. We all understand. I've torn my knee as well. I went up for a block. I thought it was a clean play. He came down wrong. It happens, man. It's part of the game in the finals. You don't just give up easy layups or dunks. But fans still to this day think I ruined his career. Mind you, he's had a hell of a career. Still having a great career and won a championship after that. So, I think he turned out okay. And Golden State has turned out okay. They're still doing pretty well.
Right. To answer, I went back and looked. Yeah, you were right. The 2020-21 season, you got up 6 threes a game and you shot 40% from the 3-point line. That was when you were with the Philadelphia 76ers. But now I'm interested. I'm actually looking now at your per 36, which is a little bit more important sometimes. Your shot 3-point attempts per 36 minutes.
Toronto, maybe?
It was actually Philly, because it was per 36. You were getting 8 up a game. But the other team that was the second closest was actually
Toronto. I got it.
Both years in Philly, you actually got up the most per 36, and then your second to then 2014, 2015, you got up 7.1 threes per game. I mean, per 36 minutes, and you also did that in Toronto too, 7.1 per 36. You got, hey man. I know the whole Ben Simmons thing ain't work out, but damn, was he good for you, dog? It's a damn shame.
I signed back because I thought he was going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? It was between Philly and Cleveland. And I was like, nah, I already know what I got here. We were number 1 seed. I'm going to get some looks. Ben going to push the pace. If anything, even if he doesn't dunk the ball or shoot free throws, he's going to find us on the wing. It's going to be me, Seth, Tobias, and then Tyrese is still young and up and coming. But I was like, I'm going to get some looks over here. And then they're going to double Joel. I'm going to find ways to get looks. So, man.
Yeah. All right. So, number 6, your honorable mention was Steve Nash. Number 5 was Jason Kidd. Number 4 was
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Number
Yeah.
3 was
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic. Number 2, Victor Wembanyama. Number 1, Stephen Curry. All right. Got to get out of here. But now that this leads me to one more question, and then we really got to go because it's late. You name your 5 players that you wish you had a time that you wish you were able to play with. Give me the one coach you wish you played for.
I think that's pretty easy, man. I think probably Phil Jackson, bro.
You think you would have liked the triangle offense?
No, just to see. No, he's not. Just his mind, just to see how his mind works and how he coached. But honestly, the system, it would have to be Steve Kerr or Spo. Like, Spo's system in Miami of how he got, like, he has a good system. So it has to be between Spo and Steve Kerr in modern day. But if you're going like historic coaches that I didn't get a chance to, like, that won a lot of championships, it would have to be Phil Jackson because he's obviously in the GOAT conversation outside of Pop for me. But yeah, I'm probably going to pick Spo more than, I don't know. It's tough because obviously Steve Kerr made that system. But I'm gonna say Spo. I feel like Miami was another place that I was trying to get to and try to play if I could play somewhere.
The way they were setting up Duncan Robinson. God damn.
Yeah, and they had multiple shooters. Max Strus was another guy that got off there. Gabe Vincent, you forget who was high. They had Kendrick Nunn. They had Kelly Olynyk. They had a bunch of different guys come through there and play well and play to their strengths. And Spo, Pat Riley got something going, and so they have Norm and Tyler Hero figuring out Bam shooting at a high level. They always figured out ways to get guys to play good there, and I would have loved to see how Spo worked.
Can I say this about? I watched that Heat Raptors game tonight. Can I just say this real quick before we go?
Of course.
I know everybody was all happy and loved to see, the Miami Heat have switched it up. No more Jimmy Butler. They're running now. They're up and down. 2 problems. Too many ill-advised shots. I love Jaime Jaquez. I think Norm is great. I think Davion Mitchell is they have good players, but if you watch them play, they are frustrating because I would say 25% of their shots are not good shots. Just because you get up the shot early doesn't mean it's a good shot. I know they're playing the volume game, but I'm not a fan of it. I hate to hate, but I'm not a fan of it. And also, number 2, it really exasperates the issue when they don't have any good perimeter defenders.
Maybe so.
Or they're not. Bro, let me correct
tonight
myself.
Was one game.
Or they're not playing good perimeter defense. They have some defenders. They're not playing good defense.
I like it, bro. Mind you, because they don't have any all-star superstars to give the ball to and say, hey, make us your system. Tyler Hero's very good, but he's in and out of the lineup. He didn't play tonight. So it's Norm Powell, and those 2 guys, to me, they're very good scorers, but they're not superstars. Like, oh, they're going to create a bunch of offense for our group. So I'm all for it. Bro.
Now we take that
tonight because not every game is bad shots. Not every game is bad shots. It's different in different games. Maybe tonight was bad. I didn't watch. I challenge
you to watch the next Miami Heat game.
I watched some of their games.
Watch it. Don't watch any other game. Just watch the next Miami Heat game, and you tell me how many shots out of like the 70 that they take or the 60 that they take, how many of them are actually good shot quality? I should have looked up.
They got 83 up tonight. Most teams are 80 to 85, maybe 80 to 82 to 87.
When we come back on Wednesday, I'm going to do a shot quality report on the Miami Heat. I'll look at the numbers and I'll tell you how many shots were contested and ill-advised because they take a lot of them. They take a lot of ill-advised shots.
I don't think it's every game. I think you just don't like the player that's shooting. It's because it's Fontecchio. No, it's Jovic, Fontecchio, Jaime Jaquez.
I don't mind Fontecchio taking shots. I don't mind. Jovic got hurt tonight. I don't mind Andrew Wiggins taking shots. I don't mind the guys that they have. I think they have a very talented team. But there's a difference between playing fast and playing rushed. And I think they play rushed.
Not as smart, you're saying.
Yes, that's the issue. I admire what they're trying to accomplish. I understand the methodology behind it, but it's rushed. It's
chaotic, and I think that's the best way to win right now is through chaos. They're trying to make everybody play chaotic against them as well. They don't have much, bro. There's expectations for them to be in the play-in. If they can be in the top 6, that is an overachievement for this group. especially with Tyler
I
Hero
think-
being out for the first 2 months, and he's been in and out of the lineup since then.
I think they're actually better than
You expected.
No. And I think they could actually be better if they took 15 less bad shots a game. They have talent. All right.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here. I'm looking forward to the NBA Cup tomorrow. Danny has the Spurs winning outright. I, as a betting man, would say take the Spurs +3. Mitchell Robinson is the key to the game. Will he get offensive rebounds or not and give the Knicks extra possessions? I think they're going to need that. With that being said, we will record our pod Wednesday morning. We might hit that live button, but if we don't, make sure you check us on our Instagram feed, or on our YouTube feed, our podcast feed, and all things social. Until then, Danny, have a good time in Vegas.
Appreciate you, brother.
Put it all on the one time we went to Vegas. You were with me when I went to Vegas, right? You got to put it all on black, and you got to put it on 8, and you got to put it on 24. Shout out Kobe.
We'll see, man. I'm usually a 14 guy. We'll see. I'll throw some money on.
Throw something on 8. Throw something on 24. Roll the die or the whatever. Roll the little thing. See if you win. If you win, you get out of there. Don't double down.
We'll roll that table. All right. Y'all know what to do, man. Read, rate, subscribe, review. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Peace.